त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तिसुदेशिकेन्द्रं द्वैपायनं सूत्रकृतं मुनीन्द्रं श्रीशङ्करं भाष्यकृतं यतीन्द्रं मद्देशिकञ्चापि नमामि विद्यै। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितप्रज्ञानगणः प्रत्यगर्तो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। Pranams everyone. We are in Chapter 3, Sloka number 9. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yajñartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. So Bhagavan is discussing or talking about karma yoga here in this section. In Sloka number 7, Bhagavan said, perform karma yoga. Arabate karma yogam. Karmendriyai karma yogam. Bhagavan said. Then he said, asakta vishishyate. He who performs karma yoga without attachment excels. Now, because he said karma yoga, then Bhagavan started explaining what is karma yoga. In Sloka number 8, Bhagavan defined karma yoga as niyatam karma kuru. Perform your obligatory duties. So, what is karma yoga? Performing your duty. And there in that Sloka, we saw there are 5 different types of karma. 5 different types of action. Nitya karma, Naimitika karma, Kamya karma, Prayashchitta karma and Nishiddha karma. And we talked about what are the ones that we need to do. Nitya karma and Naimitika karma must be performed. Kamya karma will automatically reduce. Prayashchitta karma as far as possible to avoid. Nishiddha karma should not be done. Then the question comes, what should be the attitude when performing these duties? That Bhagavan is explaining in this current Sloka. Yajñartat karmano anyatra. Yajñartat karmanaha anyatra. So here we talked about the attitude that one must have when performing duties. The first attitude that we talked about is not having any expectation. Not having any expectation on the outcome of the duties. And if our duties are actually to a particular individual or another person, then do not expect them to do their side of their duties. Do it. Don't do that with that kind of an expectation. In fact, don't expect even a sense of gratitude or an acknowledgement from the other person. How can we do that? Bhagavan said, do it as if you are doing it for me. Do it as if you are doing it for me. So we are not doing to another person, we are doing it for Ishvara. Then the question comes, if I keep doing it for anybody or for Ishvara, will I get what I am supposed to get back? Bhagavan promises, or Shastras promise, you will get what you would deserve in one way or other from that person or any other person. So do not take that to be that it needs to come only through them. That is karma yoga. Yajñartat karmanaha anyatra. Yajñartat means here Ishvara. For the sake of Ishvara, Yajñartat. And Bhagavan says, Anyatra karmanaha. If anything you do which is not for the sake of Ishvara, Lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Ayam lokah, in this world, karma bandhana hai. This action will bind you, will be bound by actions. The actions bind this world. Except what? Yajnartat anyatra. Other than those actions that are done for the sake of Ishvara. And we saw that is why whenever we start any work, we are supposed to do Mamo Vakta Samasta Durdakshetpa Dvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartam. I am doing this as an offering for Parameshwara, to Ishvara. And why do we need to do it Ishvara? Okay, I don't want to do it for other persons, but why should I do it for Ishvara? The first bhavana that we should have is because I said there are two things that we need, Shraddha and Bhakti. And remember, this Karma Yoga or this entire spiritual practice is only for those people who have belief in Ishvara. Spirituality and religion has to coexist. One cannot be an atheist and being spiritual. It cannot be. Spirituality itself is only for people who believe in Ishvara. So here, the first bhavana, that Shraddha is there, and the Shraddha will come because for me, Ishvara is the master and I am the servant. He orders and I obey. That should be the attitude. Where is Ishvara ordering me? I don't see Ishvara. Where is he ordering me? Ishvara's orders are through our Shastras, through the Vedas. Through Vedas, Ishvara has ordered us to do our duties. Through Vedas, Ishvara have given us what our duties are. And therefore, I am Dasa, Ishvara is Swami. And I perform my duties for Ishvara. This is the first attitude. And another thing is Bhakti. Bhakti is an expression of gratitude, being thankful to Ishvara. Why we need to be thankful to Ishvara? For example, when we grow up, as a person, when we grow up, if we recollect how much of pain our mother would have had in carrying us as a baby, and the pain that she would have gone through, the labor and all the countless sleepless nights that she would have had when bringing us when we were a small child, then automatically our feeling of love and pride will increase for our mother. In the same way, for us to develop this attitude of gratitude towards Ishvara, we will have to recollect the things that Ishvara has provided to us. We have been living this life for so many years, and we have taken a lot of things for granted. There have been countless number of things that we have got in this life without putting any effort. To start with, even this body. The body we have got proper eyes, proper limbs, a reasonably healthy body. Who gave us? Ishvara. In the same way, the environment we were brought up, the parents that we got, the upbringing that we got, the life, the childhood, the environment, we did not put any effort. We did not earn them. We did not. They say in today's world, they say there are no free lunches. If that is the case, then what did we do to deserve all these things? We were placed in this place. We have a roof over our head. We have clothes. We have food. We do not deserve them totally, but we take them for granted. In fact, some people, we compare ourselves with the neighbors and we say, if that person has got it, why should I not get it? What it means is neither they have understood karma properly, nor they have understood Ishvara properly in that case. The truth be said, we have got much more than what we deserve in this life, what we have given to the society in this life. And the problem for us, we do not spend time thinking about these things. If we start thinking about these things, if we start reflecting on these things, then we will automatically get bhakti towards Ishvara. And the biggest gift from Ishvara is this body, is this mind, especially the mind. If the power of mind is just enormous, and to keep the mind properly maintained, to maintain the mind properly is a very important duty on our side. We have to perform, we have to ensure that we keep our mind in check, we have to ensure that we actually maintain the mind properly. Otherwise, we just need to visit the mental asylum, nearby mental asylum. People are chained. Their life is such a disaster. That is because of their mind are not in their hand, their control. If we are not able to control our mind, it will be disastrous. So we will realize how blessed we are with this, what Ishvara has given us. Therefore, we should be grateful towards Ishvara. Our mind is not perfect. That's fine. Because even when we do meditation, we will realize that. Because the mind keeps running away from us. But it is a wonderful instrument. It is a very important instrument. We need to make use of it. We need to maintain it. We need to feed the mind with good things. And we need to be grateful to Ishvara for giving us that. So, after getting from Ishvara all these things, this body, this mind, the parents, the environment that we grew up, whatever has been given to us and taken for granted, if we fail to do our duties that Ishvara has prescribed in the Vedas, then it means that we do not have any sense of gratitude. And then what happens is, if we fail to do that, it becomes a one-way traffic. It will not last long. So, what we have to do is we have to cultivate or develop love for Ishvara. And we should perform our duties to Ishvara. To Ishvara means what? Perform duties that has been assigned to us for Ishvara. We should say, I owe this life to Ishvara. And therefore, I must perform whatever I am supposed to do as duties. Ishvara has given so many things to us, wonderful things. This creation itself is such a beauty. And the natural expression that one must have when looking at this creation is a sense of gratitude or worship. One form of showing gratitude towards Ishvara is worshipping Ishvara. That's why when we wake up early in the morning, the moment we get up, we say, Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandale, Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam, Padasparsham, Kshamasvame. Our sense of gratitude should begin from the morning, before I step over the earth. We seek forgiveness. This is a beautiful creation of Ishvara. This is our culture. So we have to step on Mother Earth, and therefore we ask for forgiveness. And that's why when we actually take shower, before opening the tap or going to the river to do, we say Gange cha Yamune Devi, Godavari Saraswati, Narmade Sindhu Kaveri, Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. We appreciate earth, we appreciate water. The more we think the glory of water, what Bhagavan had given to us, the more we feel like prostrating towards Him. Water is such a basic of life. And then in Vedas we have Namo Brahmane, Namaste Vayo, Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. We worship Vayu, we should worship air. We cannot take air for granted. We are taking it for granted. But these are all provided by Ishvara. This whole environment has been provided by Ishvara. The Vedic life in those days, at least, it was a sense of awareness of the environment. Appreciation of earth, appreciation of water, appreciation of air, appreciation of fire. There is a Rig Veda mantra, Agnimi Ile Prohitam Yajnasya Deva Mrityajam. So there, in those days, almost every ritual, it begins with a prayer to Agni, fire. And then, of course, space. Space gives us, and in Sandhya Vandanam there is a mantra also. Prache dishe namaha, dakshinaye dishe namaha, pradiche dishe namaha, udiche dishe namaha, udvaya namaha, adharaya namaha, antarikshaye namaha, bhumyaye namaha, brahmane namaha, vishnave namaha, mrityave namaha. So we offer prostrations to all these directions, and directions means space. We offer prostrations to space. So all these 5 elements are gifts from Ishvara. And we should be intensely aware of them, because what? We do not need to produce them. It's all there in the nature. I may not be even, I do not want to even purify it, but what I have to do is to not pollute them. Whatever has been given to me, my life, all these things that are taken for granted around me, the environment, the body, the mind, my parents, my upbringing, the lifestyle that I have got, are all given by Ishvara. What I have given back to the society or to the nature or to the environment or to other beings is very limited when compared to what I have received. And therefore, I should be forever indebted to Ishvara. And therefore, we have to convert our life as an offering to Ishvara. What happens when I convert my life as an offering to Ishvara? The first and foremost is, it will give me satisfaction. It will give me happiness. First of all, we have already said, don't do it for others. Because others, I may have some likes and dislikes. I don't like this person, and yet I have a duty towards this person. I don't feel like doing it. I have an issue. Now, because I'm doing it for Ishvara, I am offering it as an Ishvara, I feel satisfied. Okay, I'm actually giving back to Ishvara. And therefore, what happens is, when I do it, because it is a sense of, as I said, how you should consider duty. Bhagavan had said, what Shastras say, when you are performing a duty, take it as if you have received something from what should be the attitude is, when you have received some loan from somebody and you are repaying the loan, do you think as if you are actually doing it out of the way for this person? No. You are doing what you are supposed to do, and you may do it with like, oh my God, thank you so much. You gave me this loan, I am repaying you back. That is the attitude that Shastra says that one must have when performing your duty. So what happens is, the very action will give us satisfaction. Good, I have actually been able to repay my loan. Good that I am actually able to perform my duty. The very action will give us satisfaction. So that should be the attitude when performing duties. Bhagavan says, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. If not, what says? Bhagavan says, Yajnartat karmana anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. This world is bound by actions. In the case of any action other than action meant for Ishvara. So if we do not do it for the sake of Ishvara, what will happen? It will bind us. It will drag us deeper into samsara. So this is an important point. So which means what happens is, somebody says, I am doing my duty. I don't want to come to spirituality. I keep what I am supposed to do. I do my duty. It's fine. God will take care, or whatever it is. The answer is no. Even duties will bind us. Any action will bind us. Even if it is duty, it will bind us. What will not bind us? Only if it is done for the sake of Ishvara. Yajnartat karmanaha anyatra karma bandhana. It will bind us. Some people think that I will keep doing my duties, it will automatically take me out of samsara and it will give me moksha one day. No. Shastras are very clear. Do your duty, and do it for the sake of me. That's what Bhagavan says. And already we said, do it without any expectation in return. Only by doing in that manner, one can be free from the bondage of karma. Otherwise, karma will create bondage for that person. That's why there's a beautiful prayer in Shiva Manasa Puja. Atmatvam girjamatihi sacharaha prana shariram griham pujate vishayopaboga rachana nidra samadhi stitihi sanchara pradyo pradakshna vidhihi stotrani sarva giraha yadyat karma karomi tattat akilam shambho tavaradanam. It says, let my very living be an offering to you. Wherever I walk, let it be your pradakshina. Whatever I say, let it be your stotra. Yadyat karma karomi. Whatever actions I do, taddat akilam shambho tavaradanam. I offer it to you. Let it be as an offering to you. That is why from there only our famous statement that we used previously, nowadays it's not used, work is worship, has come about. Every work becomes worship as an act of worship. Ayam lokaha karma bandhana. This world is bound by actions. Every action will bind you. Bhagavan gives only one exception. Yajnartat. Only those actions that are done for the sake of Ishvara are not bound by this world. Everything else will bind us. So any action, if we remove the devotion out of it, if we take away the devotion out of it, it becomes bondage. Any action plus devotion will liberate us. What sort of bondage we are talking about? Raga dvesha bondage. Every action will create raga and dvesha. And what will that raga dvesha will do? Raga and dvesha will create papa and punya. What will that papa and punya do? Will create another samsara, another body, another life, it keeps going. So in Shastras, in Vedanta, we call even punya as a bondage, not just papa. Punya will give us comfortable situations, no doubt. But it will give us a body to experience that. And what happens when we experience these pleasurable moments? Our identification with the body will increase. Whenever we are in nice, comfortable situation, we think I am comfortable. And because I am comfortable, I think I am the body. And therefore our identification, this dehatma buddhi will increase. And because of which I consider myself to be the body, I entangle myself more and more into samsara. That is why even punya is considered as a bondage. Sukha bhavam or punyam therefore also has a dosha. And Shastras only compare them as both of them are chains. Only thing is punya, papam binds you in an iron chain. Punya binds you in a golden chain. Both are chained. Both will chain us. So Bhagavan says, if we do any action that is not for Ishvara, that is not done with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, it will bind us. Bhagavan continues in the second line. He says, Tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. Tadartam. Tadartam. For the sake of. For the sake of who? For the sake of Ishvara. For the sake of Ishvara, perform. Perform. How to perform? Samachara. Tadartam karma kaunteya. Kaunteya means Arjuna. Tadartam karma kaunteya. Therefore, perform action. For the sake of Ishvara, perform action. How do we need to perform action? Bhagavan says samachara. Mukta sanga samachara. We'll take samachara first. Samachara means perform well, perform diligently. Perform diligently. And then not only that, mukta sangha, without any attachment. Mukta means free from. Sangaha means attachment. Mukta sangha means free from attachment, without any attachment. So Bhagavan says, perform, therefore, because all the actions can bind you, perform all actions for the sake of Ishvara. Not only that, perform that well, perform that properly. Don't do it like just for the sake of doing. Don't do that in that manner. Perform well, perform diligently. And without any attachment. What attachment? Attachment to the results. Okay. I should not have any expectation. That is what Bhagavan says. Do not have any expectation on the outcome. If I perform this, I will get this as a return. Don't have that expectation. Remember, we are only talking about duties now. So Bhagavan says, this world is bound by actions. The only exception is actions that are meant for Ishvara. Therefore, perform actions for the sake of Ishvara without any attachment and with full commitment. That is the essence of this sloka, purport of this sloka. So there are 3 points Bhagavan gives here in this sloka. 1, yajnartam, doing it for the sake of Ishvara. That attitude that one must have when performing duties or responsibilities. 2, mukta sangaha, without any attachment. 3, samachara, perform diligently. Why yajnartam? I'm just summarizing. Why yajnartam? Because the moment I do it for somebody else, the mind starts expecting. It is just like giving gifts for wedding. Some people remember what they had gifted for all the weddings, on all the ceremonies and the functions. They will say, whether I'm able to get the same thing back when I have a function at my place, whether this person is giving the same thing back or not. So that expectation. So it's not a gift, it's actually a business transaction. Then mukta sangaha, without any attachment. No attachment on duty. No attachment on the results of the duty. No attachment on the duty means no likes and dislikes on whether for actions, duty that are meant as duties. Which means what? I would not take, say, if this is a duty that I love to do, therefore I will do. If this is some responsibility that I don't like to do, and therefore I will not do. Don't have that feeling. So that is for mukta sangha. Then samachara. Samachara means perform diligently with full commitment. So not doing like a typical Indian bureaucrat organization or government organization, but perform it like as if it's our own business, but without any stress, without any anxiety. Meticulously, attentively, thoroughly. And I can do that only if I remember that I am doing it for the sake of Ishvara and not for anybody else. Now when we talk about mukta sangha, no attachment on the results, information. When Jaimini Maharishi had done this Vichara on Purva Mimamsa meaning the early part of Vedas, which is the Veda Purva Bharga, Jaimini Maharishi had come to the conclusion that initially what has happened is Vedas, there had been some people who had this belief or understanding that any nitya karma that we do will not incur any punya, but not doing nitya karma will result in papa. So whatever has been mentioned as nitya karma in our shastras for us, for the varna and the ashrama that we are in, if we perform, we will not get any punya, but if we do not perform, we will get papa. That has been the interpretation of the Vedas by many learned people. But Jaimini Maharishi, after doing this vichara, he had said that every action should have a result. Even Shankaracharya in the 4th chapter in some place, he will call that out. He will say that every action will have a result. Doing nitya karma will also result in punya, and that punya is Swargaloka. But do not do this nitya karma for the, here Bhagavan says, do not do this nitya karma for the sake of even heavens, for the sake of Swarga. Don't do it because I do it, I will get heaven or I'll get better life, next life. Don't do it even for that sake. Don't convert your nitya karma into kamya karma, is what Bhagavan says here. So that is for the Mukta Sangaha. Now Samacharaha means doing it diligently, doing it enthusiastically. And I have told the story before, I'll tell the story again. There was this car driver who was working for a rich man. And it's actually a real story. So this person was working for a rich man in some village. And then what has happened is one day Mahatma Gandhi was supposed to visit that place, that village. So the rich man had the only car in the village. So the rich man had asked the driver to pick up Mahatma Gandhi from the station and bring him to his house. Now the driver was overjoyed. Because he had great love and respect for Mahatma Gandhi. So with all sorts of enthusiasm and excitement, he went, picked up Mahatma Gandhi, drove to the rich man's house. It took about 20 minutes of drive. He was so happy. Now from that time onwards, what had happened? Whomever he met, he used to boast, brag. He used to say, you know what? I had driven Mahatma Gandhi in my car. He was so proud of that. He was happy sharing that. Now this is the story. Now what we can actually infer from here. Driving the car was his duty. Whether Mahatma Gandhi was seated on it or not, it was his duty. But when Mahatma Gandhi was seated in his car, he thought about for whom he is doing it. He thought, I'm doing it for a great man. Then automatically what happened? The enthusiasm was there in the work. Now, would he be looking to get payment for that work? No. He would have got satisfaction and happiness in just doing this duty itself. Would he have been happy driving for the rich man? We don't know. But maybe not, because then he would have been bragging that I have been driving for this rich man. But what would he have been thinking about when he was driving for the rich man? He would have thought about pay rise, what is my bonus, all those things. So the same action, driving, the same duty, but when he is performing for a great man, it becomes samachara, diligently, enthusiastically. But when he is doing it for other persons, he is not getting that enthusiasm. So what we understand from here is, if we do the same action but for Ishvara with devotion, with bhakti, just how has the driver gained satisfaction just in doing the action and not the result, in the same way we will get satisfaction in performing our duty itself. if I think I am doing it for my Ishta Devata, then I will be very happy. And therefore, Yajnartam and Mukta Sangaha, without any attachment to the result. I don't want anything. He was trying Mahatma Gandhi. Did you expect him to be paid extra for this? No. He took it as an honor, as something that he can actually live with just doing that. So Mukta Sangaha. And not only that, he would have driven it carefully, because he has got Mahatma Gandhi in the car. He would have driven it carefully, doing it diligently, samachara. So we will have to do our duty for Ishvara. Truly speaking, if we do something for us also, even in that act, there could be some dosha, there could be some carelessness. But when we do for Ishvara, when we are doing it for, say for example, for a festival, when the lady of the house actually makes the bhakshanam, they would not even taste it, because until the Naivedyam is done, they would do it with all sorts of devotion and carefulness. They do it carefully. They do it diligently. They take shower, they take a head bath, they do it with muddy, whatever. So when we do it for a person whom we love, we will do it without any feeling of even tiredness. So therefore, these 3 points we have to remember. How do you perform duty? 1, Yajnarta, for the sake of Ishvara. 2, Samachara, diligently. 3, Mukta Sangaha, without any attachment, without any expectation on the results, or without any likes or dislikes on when performing the duties. This is the Karma Yoga's bhavana, attitude. So in the previous sloka, 8th sloka, Bhagavan had talked about what kind of action should be performed. Niyatam karma kuru. He said perform duties. Now in this sloka, he is talked about attitude. Yajnartat. So now we will go to the sloka number 10. Saha yajñah praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yeshavostvishta kamadukh. Saha yajñah praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yeshavostvishta kamadukh. So here, Bhagavan, the essence of this sloka is the Karma Yoga lifestyle and the benefit that one gets out of this lifestyle has been designed, has been devised, has been called out, has been published, or has been designed by Ishvara himself. The Karma Yoga lifestyle and the benefit has been devised by Ishvara. It has been instituted by Ishvara. And it has been instituted by Ishvara for human beings, for humans. How? Because only humans can lead a Karma Yoga lifestyle. When we say Karma Yoga, it involves sacrifice. It involves sharing. It involves giving up. Such an attitude can be had by humans only, because humans only have a choice whether to sacrifice for this person or not, whether to share with this person or not, whether to give up. Humans have a choice. Dogs or other animals fight for food. If a biscuit is thrown at dogs, the dogs might come and fight with each other. Humans can be also like that, but we also have a choice. Humans can have the attitude of sharing and sacrificing, but it is a choice. If we don't exercise that attitude, then there is no difference between human being and an animal. So the Karma Yoga lifestyle is about giving the food even when I am hungry. And not only that, by giving the food even when I am hungry, I am attaining contentment and satisfaction by seeing the other person eat. That is the Karma Yoga lifestyle. Bhagavan says this lifestyle has been created by me for humans. Again, if we remember, Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, he was living in abject poverty. And when his wife actually borrowed some grains from neighbor for keeping rice, in those days they say nil, and then they will actually what is it? They use the pestle to actually take out the rice and then keep the rice. What he did was, when those grains, he fed them to the birds. There were no food available for him and his wife, but he was happy to see the birds eat. When his wife saw that, she was so upset and questioned him as to why he did that when they had no meal for themselves. And this itself was borrowed. And his answer was, if you had kept rice, it would have only fed 2 stomachs. Now look how many stomachs are being fed. This sort of thought process, this sort of an attitude can only come to humans. Bhagavan says, I have given the ability for humans to think in this manner, to have this attitude. When we hear this, our bhakti towards Bhagavan should rise actually. Because Bhagavan says, I have created this in our nature. In our nature we have it, but we don't seem to exhibit it. That's our problem. This unique ability to derive happiness from sharing is an attitude that is a nature, inherent nature that has been provided by Bhagavan, but not many people exhibit it. Not many people have it covered due to a problem called selfishness. Bhagavan says, I have created this thought process in human: sacrifice, sharing, donating, living by ideals. That is the essence of this sloka. Bhagavan says, I have created this Karma Yoga lifestyle for the humans. Why is it not exhibited by everyone? Because in this world, what we have to understand is there have been lots of things that have been created. But whatever has been created in this world has not been utilized or consumed by us. In the same way, this attitude or thought process has been given by Bhagavans to humans, but to utilize that or not is in individual's hand. Or to be precise, it is in the individual's intellect or mind. Bhagavan says here, please practice. Dog has been created with a sense of gratitude. It has not studied Upanishads, Gita or all those things. It has not concluded that having a sense of gratitude is good and therefore I am going to have a sense of gratitude. Having a sense of gratitude is a dog's swabhava. So all dogs have a sense of gratitude. All animals have certain characteristics which are pre-programmed. But for humans, Bhagavan says there are choices. Bhagavan has given the choice. A person can decide to live by Karma Yoga or not live by Karma Yoga. It is that person's individual's choice. So here Bhagavan says, Sahayajna prajasrishtva purovacha prajapatihi. Sahayajnaha. Yajnaha means here, remember in the previous sloka, yajnartat meant, yajna means Ishvara. Here Sahayajna means, yajna here means Karma Yoga lifestyle. So Sahayajna, this yajna, this Karma Yoga lifestyle, the lifestyle of sharing, contributing, sacrifice, Sahayajna means with this knowledge of being able to lead a Karma Yoga lifestyle. Sahayajna means with this knowledge that is there in humans for them to be able to lead a lifestyle of Karma Yoga, following Karma Yoga. Praja Srishtva. I have created human beings. Prajaha means human beings. Srishtva means I have created. So what is Bhagavan saying? Even when I created human beings, I have created them with the knowledge of being able to lead a life of Karma Yoga. So even when I created these human beings, along with it, I also created them with the knowledge of being able to lead a life of Karma Yoga lifestyle. Only the humans have this ability or the capability to lead a life of an animal. They can choose to lead a life of a human, or they can choose to lead a life of the divine. Human beings can do, they have the choice. So Bhagavan says, I have created with this ability. Yajna, here as I said, Karma Yoga lifestyle. Another meaning of yajna is dravya tyagaha yagaha. We say dravya tyagaha means the idea of sacrificing, giving up or sharing is called as yajna. Karma Yoga is a life of contribution. We will be seeing it. Life of sacrifice, life of sharing. So the ability of this feeling to sacrifice, the ability to share does not come easily. But there are opportunities. Another meaning for yajna here can also mean the Panchamaha yajnas. The Panchamaha yajnas given in Vedas. Generally, Karma Yoga is prescribed for householders, grihasthas, or we can say for people who are in the pravritti marga. So, in one of the Upanishad Bhashyas, Adi Shankaracharya says, all actions, all karmas in the Shastras can be divided into two. We just, in the previous two slokas before, we divided all actions into 5. Nitya, Naimittika, Prayashchitta, Nishiddha and Kamya. Here, there is another dimension by which we can split. One is Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga. Nivritti Parani, Pravritti Parani, Sadhanani. So the actions can be split into Pravritti and Nivritti. Nivritti Parani means those sadhanas that make us move away. It make us move away means make us more detached. What are those sadhanas that make us more detached? Mauna Vrata. Mauna Vrata is a sadhana. When we refrain ourselves from speaking or keeping ourselves shut, both our mouth as well as our mind, then we can detach ourselves. Or shamaha, mental control, damaha, sense organ control. These are all nivritti parani. Whereas if we talk about karma yoga or dhanam, all these are sadhanas that are pravritti parani, which will make us connected to the activities. It will not make us attached, it will not make us detached, it will make us more connected to them. Now, the question is, what are these Panchamaha and are all of them important? For whom are these Panchamaha? So for whom are these Panchamaha? The Panchamaha are mainly for grihasthas, for householders. What are these Panchamaha? There are 5 types of sadhanas. We would have seen this before. Anyway, we'll see. Deva Yajna. The 5 yajnas are Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Rishi Yajna, or we can say Brahma Yajna, then Manushya Yajna, and then Bhuta Yajna. Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Brahma Yajna, Manushya Yajna and Bhuta Yajna. And the Panchamaha Yajnas, where it is called, it is not in some Smritis, it is in the Vedas itself. Panchava Yede Maha Yajna Satati Prajayante Satati Santishtante Deva Yajna Pitri Yajno Manushya Yajno Bhuta Yajno Brahma Yajna iti it says. And it says to live by these yajnas is part of Karma Yoga lifestyle. Now what are these Panchamaha Yajnas? We saw these are 5. Under which category do they come? Do they come in Pravritti Parani or Nivritti Parani? It comes under Pravritti Parani. Now we also saw the karma to be split into 5 of them. Nitya Karma, Naimitika Karma, Prayashchitta Karma, Kamya Karma and Nishiddha Karma. This Panchamaha Yajnas comes under where? Which of these 5? It comes under Nitya Karma. Niyatam Karma Kuru. It comes under Nitya Karma, which means it is compulsory karmas for Grihasthas. Shastras do not give us a choice. They call them as compulsory yajnas. If we are a householder, we should do these Panchamaha Yajnas daily. See, Shastras give for Grihasthas certain allowances. For allowances as in, a Shastra allows a Grihastha for Vittam, earning. A Grihastha, in fact, must earn. Other than Grihastha, nobody can earn. A Brahmachari cannot earn. A Vanaprastha cannot earn. A Sannyasi cannot earn. Only the Grihasthas are allowed to earn. And in fact, they must earn. And another, permission that the Shastras give for a Grihastha is allow to enjoy sensory pleasures. A Brahmachari is not allowed much sensory pleasures. A Sannyasi is prohibited. A Vanaprastha is also not allowed. So, only a Grihastha is allowed to enjoy sensory pleasures. But Shastra says you are given these allowances, but you also have certain duties. One of those duties is the Panchamaha Yajna, and it is a Nitya Karma. Now we will see one by one what is this Panchamaha Yajna. The first one is Deva Yajna. Deva Yajna means what? Prayers to Ishvara. Ishvara Puja. Any kind of religious activity is considered to be Deva Yajna. What does that mean? Every day should begin with a prayer, should end with a prayer. The first thing to do is to waking up is to actually pray. The last thing we have to do before going to sleep is pray. And in between also we should pray. How we pray? In between or convert everything to Ishvara Arpana, it becomes prayer. But here when we say Deva Yajna, it does not mean that converting all the actions into this one. Here Bhagavan says, Ishvara says, Vedas say, allocate some time for prayer. Allocate some time for chanting. Allocate some time for going in front of the altar, puja room, sit, do some meditation or do some prayers, do something and put a flower, offer a flower, do some naivedhyam and then give some exclusive time for Ishvara, and that too in front of the altar. It can be in front of it can be in the temple also, or if it is at home, it can be at the puja room. Of course, puja room, in these days, puja room is actually for some people it is below the staircase or in a small shelf in kitchen room. We don't want to offer Bhagavan more space than that. That's fine. But puja room, there has to be a specific place and we have to offer our time. We have to give some time for Bhagavan. Only then it means that I have respect for Deva Yajna. when people come to our house and when we have guests at home, do we actually talk to them by actually by cleaning the house? While cleaning itself, we talk to them, or doing some housework. Will they not take it as an insult? In the same way, when we are doing this chanting and all, some people say, I do the chant when I am actually doing my work, my daily work, I am doing the chanting at the same time. That is actually insulting Bhagavan. It's when you do not want to insult your guest, then you should not look to insult Bhagavan also. So we should spend at least 5 minutes in front of Ishvara every day. It can be increased slowly, but do that. In the same way, if you are going to do some puja or japa, if we do Sandhyavandana, it's 5 minutes of exclusive time anyway. But we should not talk during that time. So we should give some time for japa, puja, or do some mantra japa also. Even if we do not know any slokas, mantra japa is fine. If we are doing it on the way to office and others, it's fine. But other than that, we have to spend some time, exclusive time for Bhagavan. And these things to the next generation, we cannot teach them. We have to show them. Otherwise, they are not going to pick it up. Is there a method to be followed for doing Deva Yajna? No, there's no method. Whatever be the type of worship, it's fine. It depends on our background. Whatever our varna or ashrama or parentage or the things that we had done when we were children. Some people may know Vedic rituals. A person may be able to do Agnihotra. Another person just do Sandhyavandana. That's fine. Whatever has been initiated at our house, whatever has been taught, we should do. Shastras do not enforce them that you must do this, but according to whatever has been your varna, ashrama and your capacity, do that. Now, what are the benefits of such a prayer? When we can say get qualified for moksha, but what are the various benefits? We will see it in the next class. What are the benefits of prayer and what are the other yajnas other than Deva Yajna? We will see them in detail in the next class. Any questions or comments? Okay. If not, we will see again in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.